Well, experts are telling us that our children, our generation of kids, will not live as long as us. It'll be the first generation of Americans where the kids do not live as long as the adults. Okay, this is very, very scary. I'm not prepared to accept that, and so I began to look around. In a cover article, December 1st, 2008, Time magazine, it said, despite technological advances in medicine, Americans are less healthy than they used to be, and our kids, the next generation, are going to be worse off. And so, what does that mean? Well, let's ask Steve Jobs how his parents felt when they buried him at age 56. What about Iwata, the CEO of Nintendo, when his parents buried him at age 55? What about Beau Biden, who was buried by his father, Vice President of the United States of America, at age 47? And then there was the son of Rick Warren, great pastor who wrote the book Purpose-Driven Life. His son committed suicide. And then, let's see here, there's former President Jimmy Carter, whose grandson died at age in his sleep, at age 27, 28, something like that. And, I can go on and on and on and on, but you get the drift. When these powerful, politically powerful, when these wealthy people lose their children, what chance does the average American have? So what is going on here? Well, let's look at the April 16th, 2012 issue of Food Chemistry, which looks at the nutritional value of the foods in America and as well as the pollution loads. And on April 16th, 2012, the lead article had to do with the top 8 baby formulas. We're talking about Similac, Enfamil, Gerber's, ones you're all familiar with, very well respected. And it said the bottom line was that these baby formulas have less than 20% of the minerals and vitamins necessary for proper development of our kids. Less than 20%. Dog food has 100%. Chicken food has 100%. Laboratory rat food has 100%. Sheep, pig, cow, horse food has 100%. And our kids have less than 20%. What is going on here? Well, nobody's paying attention to the details of what's happening. Everybody's out there for profit, which there's nothing wrong with that. But nobody's paying attention to the details. And here's where the medical system has failed us. The medical system is the one who has failed us. They should have been keeping track of this. And somebody needs to go to jail here. I want you to get a hold of the books, Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission. The book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Yes, that's standby. Dead Doctors Don't Lie. It's the only time they won't. Okay? And then Rare Earths, Forbidden Cures. Those 3 books, Epigenetics, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, and Rare Earths, Forbidden Cures. And you're going to learn what you need to do to save your kids. You're going to have to be obsessive about this. Stay away from the bad stuff, do all the good stuff, which includes supplementing them according to their body weight with the 90 for Life program. We're talking about 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 fatty acids. And this is one of the reasons why I'm considered one of the founders and fathers of the science of epigenetics, which is taking the place of genetics. Okay? There's been thousands of failed medical theories every century, and the 20th century and 21st century are no different. 2 of the biggest ones in the 20th century and 21st century is genetics. There's not a single disease that's caused by genetic transmission. That was a way overextension of our understanding of genes. And then, of course, cholesterol and saturated fat have nothing to do with cardiovascular disease. It was all a sales campaign to sell Crisco by Procter & Gamble. And they gave the American Heart Association $1.7 million in 1972 to endorse Crisco as a healthier way to eat. Okay, in exchange for that $1.7 million, there was no science. But Procter & Gamble gave it to the American Heart Association, who took the money, prostituted themselves just for the money. Somebody needs to go to jail here, okay? This is not a small thing because of all the side effects of cholesterol-restricted diets and statin drugs, including Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease is, in fact, a deficiency of a single nutrient, cholesterol. That's right. It's a deficiency of cholesterol. It has nothing to do with aluminum. It has nothing to do with genetics. It did not exist even by another name 45 years ago. And today it's number 4 killer of adults for the age of 65 because of the drive by the American Medical Association and medical doctors in America and in the Western world trying to mimic American doctors to restrict cholesterol in our diets and take statin drugs to lower your cholesterol. And we wound up with Alzheimer's disease, low T, ED, menopause at age 30 instead of 65, adrenal exhaustion, and many other things. And so let's just keep looking here. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, medical doctors kill 15,000 seniors in America every month. That's 180,000 a year. by sending them in for unnecessary screening tests and minor procedures. 180,000 a year are killed by these things, which weren't needed to begin with. The doctors just needed the money, and they just needed the money, wanted the money, and so they sent in these seniors over age 65 for these unnecessary tests. Okay? That's not me. I'm just reporting what the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services said. And then, of course, according to the Center for Disease Control, March 1998, they said each year in America, medical doctors infect 2 million people in hospitals with a bug called C. diff, okay, Clostridium difficile, a human poop bacteria, because they don't wash their hands after they go to the bathroom, and 90,000 die every year. 90,000 die every year. What if North Korea would do that? It'd be war. Well, contact your U.S. representative, your senator, your president, your governor, your state representatives and senators. Get this changed now. We have to do this now. Get on your 90, get epigenetics, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, and Rare Earth Forbidden Cures. And let's save our kids. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie for these messages.
Do certain foods cause you to bloat or experience gas? Do you wake up in the middle of the night with heartburn? Are you forced to sleep on piles and piles of pillows to cut down on heartburn? Have you been diagnosed with acid reflux or gastroesophageal reflux disease? If any of these describes you, then you've got digestive problems. I was awakened with heartburn almost every night for over 20 years. Then I heard Dr. Wallach and realized all of the antacids I'd been using were actually part of the problem. My stomach acid wasn't too strong, it wasn't strong enough. So I started taking the Ultimate Enzymes from Youngevity. Now all of the heartburn, belching, and bloating are gone, and I can sleep through the night without piling on the pillows. And I'm back to eating the spicy foods I love. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Numerous studies have shown the link between the intake of antioxidants and disease prevention. Foods and supplements are measured in an ORAC scale. ORAC is an acronym for Oxygen Radical Absorption Capacity. In other words, the ability to remove disease-causing free radicals from the human body. Youngevity's Cell Shield RTQ has an ORAC value of 15,800 points per serving. Cell Shield RTQ contains resveratrol, known as an anti-aging compound, turmeric, known for promoting healthy digestion, brain function, immune system, and cellular longevity. Quercetin, a flavonoid, is known for promoting healthy blood sugar metabolism and healthy lung and cardiovascular function. Remove free radicals from your body with Cell Shield RTQ from Youngevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
When you perspire, working or playing, your body is losing more than just water. That's why it tastes salty. But what you're sweating out is more than just salt and potassium, as some sports drinks will have you believe. One of the most well-known sports drinks only has 2 nutrients, and it's loaded with sugar. Some have a mineral or 2 with a couple of vitamins. Youngevity's exceptional sports drink, Rebound FX, is chock full of cancer-fighting antioxidants, a full spectrum of vitamins, plant-derived minerals, and herbs. Rebound FX is a highly absorbable liquid supplement that gives you quick, sustained energy. Rebound FX supports cardiovascular health, immune health, and boosts stamina and energy. Don't short yourself during and after your workout with just a couple of nutrients. Drink Youngevity's Rebound FX for optimal health. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Through his research as a veterinarian, Dr. Joel Wallach discovered that most health problems afflicting livestock can be prevented and even reversed. Many of these same health challenges also occur in humans. These too can be prevented and reversed. Doc's original formula, called the Pig Arthritis Formula, alleviated all arthritis symptoms in animals. The same basic formula has been developed for humans, called the Pig Pack, which includes plant-derived minerals, a multiple vitamin complex, glucogel, and EFAs. Add to that Youngevity's OsteoFX Plus, a proprietary blend of liquid calcium, magnesium, and glucosamine. Now you have the Pig Pack Plus to make up the 90 essential nutrients Dr. Wallach has identified as necessary for sustained good health and longevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have for us today?
Well, I thought we'd talk a bit about antibiotics, as I've got a Fox News story here headlined, "Another Killer Could Top Cancer by 2050, and We're to Blame." I don't really buy into that title because I didn't prescribe any antibiotics to anybody, and you probably didn't either.
Nope.
So it's the doctors who are to blame, not us. And
Only dead doctors don't lie.
That's exactly right. They said, "We've been warned about an antibiotic apocalypse. A new study says the medicine-resistant infections will take more lives annually than cancer does by 2050 unless action is taken." This is all according to the review on antimicrobial resistance. Death caused by drug resistance will rise from 700,000 this year to an estimated 10 million by 2050. That's globally. They said the problem is people around the world are taking antibiotics, rendering them less effective, while global food production uses at least as many. And they say fewer new antibiotics are being made. In the time the study says, we are no longer able to treat diseases that are now curable. The problem is straightforward, according to Jim O'Neill, who chairs the review. Goes on to say, as valuable as scientific breakthroughs may be, it takes a lot of work to turn them into marketable drugs, and antibiotics generally produce low and sometimes even negative returns on investment for the pharmaceutical makers that develop them. So he's now calling on philanthropists and governments to create an R&D fund to be able to create a new antimicrobial drugs. They estimates the cost of less than 0.1% of global GDP, far less than the alternative, which would be $100 trillion in lost production by 2050 and 10 million lives lost every year. And I find it funny that, these pharmaceutical companies, when you watch their ads on television for all kinds of drugs, they're always putting themselves forward as we care, we care about the people out there. And the fact that in this article they say they're not developing new antibiotics. Why? Because they can't make any money off of it. And that right there is the crux of the pharmaceutical industry. They're all about the money. They do not care about the people they're selling the drugs to at all.
Well, of course not. The profit system is involved in the profit. So who is grandma before doctors? Well, grandma was the doctor, right? And so we need to go back to this. And, of course, Youngevity has been doing this all the time. We actually have a blend of 8 herbs called Killer Biotic, which support your immune system and help you fend off bugs. And 2 of those 8 herbs actually have antimicrobial properties and can actually directly kill bacteria, fungus, and yeast and viruses. And we have our colloidal silver, our Envision colloidal silver, which is one of the best on the market. It has probably the most parts per million in this solution, the colloidal solution, colloidal suspension. And let me tell you, colloidal silver, gargle with it every morning, put a few droppers full in a glass of water, swallow that once a week, you're going to kill bugs. And then you can make a mist in a spray if you're getting stuffy and infections in your sinuses and that sort of stuff. Don't forget our PureWorks skin sanitizer. We actually have the spray, the foam, the liquid soap. It's kind of a liquid shower gel kind of thing. We have a lotion that has all this PureWorks in there. There's absolutely no alcohol. It doesn't dry out and kills bugs. And then we have eucalyptus globulus from our aromatherapy oils. And my favorite, of course, and Eucalyptus areata. And let me tell you, these things kill stuff. And then there's tea tree oil and our aromatherapy oils, right? These are the sort of things you need to be working with every day. Get your auric points up. Get your immune system going. Don't forget, our new BTT 2.0 tablets, one serving a day, which is like 2 tablets twice a day, it gives you 160,000 auric points. You heard it right. That's not exaggeration. 160,000 auric points. I take double that, so I'm getting 320,000 auric points a day to help fend off bugs as I shake hands with everybody, fly around the world. Okay, and heed this, do it, and save yourself and the people you love. And we'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to La Jolla, California. And Lindsay, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Lindsay, you're on the air.
Hello. I
Hi.
called it a few weeks ago about my grandmother, and I got her totally gluten-free. I live with her. I'm gluten-free. Her cats are gluten-free. We're all over that. And she had pre-diabetes, AFib. She's kind of had heart failure, really high blood pressure, all this stuff going on. And so I had her on the Sweeties, tangy tangerine tablets, and the osteo. And for a while, we were trying to focus on her blood sugar, and it was in normal range. It was in the 90s pretty much all the time, up to maybe 110 or something. And then about a week and a half ago, all of her heart symptoms got much worse. She's really short of breath almost all the time, very uncomfortable. And at that same time, all of a sudden her blood sugar spiked really high, and it's been high since then, but I'm doing all the same things. So I'm wondering
Okay, now stop.
if you have any insight
Stop. Yeah, has she been going to Christmas parties?
No. We had some people over here, but I was very careful with what she was eating.
Yeah, it's just highly suspicious when it happens during, the Christmas time and holidays. Okay? Yeah, very highly suspicious. A little glass of juice, a little glass of some kind of, holiday drink or something like that. A cookie here, a cookie there. Sounds, highly suspicious. But at any rate, what does your grandmother weigh?
140.
140. Okay. So Shar, this is a Shar thing. Again, she has AFib. Is that a heart problem? AFib, atrial fibrillation?
No.
Okay. What causes AFib?
It's caused by the nerve getting squeezed going through her backbone into her heart to control her heartbeat.
Yeah, it's actually caused by, it's a peripheral neuropathy where you get degenerative disc disease. And how old is your grandmother? She's 90?
She's 80.
80, okay. So I'll bet she has osteoporosis. She may have degenerative disc disease. And so what's happening here is the discs are getting thinner, as Shar says. The vertebrae are getting closer together, smashing the roots of T1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? And this results in AFib. High blood pressure is due to mineral deficiencies, not genetics. And, of course, you're working on the diabetes. And so stick to the guns and watch the diet. Okay? Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Glucogel, 15 a day. Ultimate Daily tablets. And call us in 2 weeks. We'll be back after these messages.
Let's head to Phoenix, Arizona. And Maria, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Maria. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dr. Wallach. First of all, I want to thank you for all your wonderful work.
Well, you're very welcome.
On this planet.
Very kind.
Yes. I took some blood tests, and I was diagnosed with bone marrow disease. Not sure yet what kind of disease.
Okay. Now, are they talking about myelosclerosis or myelofibrosis or anemia or not enough?
I think it's anemia with the bones and.
Oh, anemia?
Yes.
Yeah, anemia. Okay. Yeah, anemia can be caused by lack of nutrition, certainly lack of certain vitamins, certainly lack of minerals, but also you can be anemic if you have chronic osteoporosis and osteopenia, arthritis, because the bone marrow cavity fills up with connective tissue, bone matrix, and they displace and crowd out the cells that make red blood cells. Okay? See, how old are you, Maria?
I'm 41. I'm 125 pounds.
Okay. Do you have any other issues? Do you have any eczema, dermatitis,
Yeah.
or psoriasis?
Gastritis was one of them. And that's it.
Any history of asthma as a kid, bronchitis?
No, I've cut the gluten out for almost 2 years since I heard of you.
Okay. Good.
But,
and everybody in the household,
nothing
spouse,
here.
roommate, dog, cat, bird, fish, mother-in-law, everybody's gluten-free?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Okay,
Yes.
very good. Okay, well, Shar, here's a 125-year-old gal who's got some chronic anemia, and the doctors are looking at bone marrow problems, maybe. Okay. She's been working on getting off of gluten for 3 years. What would you do for her?
Well, I give her a healthy bone and joint pack,
Okay.
and then she needs, obviously, the OsteoFX is the thing.
Okay. And what would you do to stimulate stem cells in the bone marrow to make more red blood cells?
I give her Immortalium.
Very good. You get an A+. Absolutely. I would add Immortalium to your program here, Maria. And I would go ahead and take 2 of those twice a day, the Immortalium. And I think that'll be 2 bottles a month to be able to pull that off. Okay? And they're designed to support and promote the body's production of stem cells, including the bone marrow stem cells, which are designed to make red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. And it's not unusual for people who are middle-aged, starting at 35 to 65 in there somewhere, where they get a chronic anemia and just taking an iron supplement won't do any good because the manufacturing system is being crowded out by this bone matrix because people have chronic osteoporosis and osteopenia and osteoarthritis, as Shar pointed out. So give us a call every couple of weeks. Let us know you get another blood test. But before you take any treatment from them and stem cell for $40,000, give us a call back and we'll walk you through this. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to Auburn, California. And Lori, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Lori, you're on the air.
Hi, yes. Thank you, Dr. Wallace. I love your book.
Ma'am.
Love your information.
You're very kind. How can we help you today?
Well, my question is that I have Hashimoto's, and I started supplementing with selenium, and just recently went on with the plant-derived minerals. I had an RBC selenium test which showed that my selenium level was about 400, and the upper level is about 40 for the RBC. Yet the regular selenium blood test with just a regular blood serum put me right in the middle of the range. So I just wanted to make sure that I didn't need to be concerned about getting too toxic in selenium.
Are you going blind yet?
Not yet. Although I have to use reading glasses now because I'm over 50.
Okay, are you stumbling around like a drunken sailor?
No.
Okay, yeah, the symptoms of selenium toxicity, which, you got to be eating pounds a day to make that happen, is what they call blind staggers, where you're staggering around and you're walking in, to posts and trees and falling in holes and things like that. And you don't see this in modern times, only in days when they would drink water out in the desert where the water had nothing in it but selenium and water, is from those sorts of things. And we just don't see that today. I take a milligram a day, 1,000 micrograms a day of selenium, and just not having any problems. So I don't think it hasn't been reported in modern times, and so I wouldn't be worried about it. But Hashimoto's, is that under control?
I'm not really sure what to expect. I feel really good. I'm not on any thyroid meds at all anymore. I would just like my TPO antibodies to go away, and I don't know if that's a good barometer to know whether I am getting better or not. It just does bother me that my TPO antibodies are in the 700 range, and I had them down to 250. I've been completely gluten-free for the last 4 years, really concentrating on my diet. In fact, I hardly eat any grains at all anymore, just a little bit of rice.
Okay, what about cruciferous vegetables, things like cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and kale?
Yes, actually, I eat a lot of those, and I know they don't really want you to. That it kind of is supposed to impinge on thyroid.
Yeah,
function,
they really
I
interfere with thyroid function severely, And so I'd give those up, say, for 3 months, then get another test. Makes sense to me.
Okay.
And Shar, what would be your thing for somebody with chronic thyroid problems and the thyroid's not happy and so forth? What would you give her in addition to the 90?
Well, I give her the Ocean's Gold.
Yeah. What do you weigh, Lori?
110.
Yeah, 110. Yeah, I'd go ahead and get yourself one bottle of the Ocean's Gold and take 3 of those a day. Take one at breakfast, one at lunch, one at dinner, one at breakfast and 2 at dinner kind of thing, and stay away from the cruciferous vegetables for 3 months. I mean, really be obsessive about that, and then go in for another test and see where your numbers are at.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So the TPO is going to be a good barometer on going in the right direction as long as those are heading in the downward.
Yeah, see, that's why they say Hashimoto's is one of these autoimmune diseases and your body's attacking your thyroid gland and all that kind of stuff because of those antibodies. And there's many, many reasons for that. It could be just the sort of injury from the cruciferous vegetables. And so, you can't, remember, only dead doctors don't lie, right? Especially with things like thyroid. They're always looking for some way to either kill it with radioactive iodine or surgically remove it or something like that. And so be really careful here before you do anything after you get your results. Give us a call, okay?
Oh, okay. One more quick question. Are nodules anything to worry about? I just developed a very small one that doesn't seem to be causing any problems. But
yeah. Well, you're talking about a thyroid nodule?
Yes.
Yeah, well, thyroid nodules are, again, where the function of thyroid is not working real well. It means that you have some of these acini in the thyroid, which is where you store your thyroxine hormone. It's almost like a gelatin in there. And what happens is you have 1 or 2 of those little acini follicles that are just filling up and filling up and filling up with the stored hormone, and it's kind of like a cyst. And it gets big enough to be called a nodule. You may even get a collection of a half a dozen in one place, and we'll call it a nodule. And they're rarely, I mean, very, 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 very rarely cancerous. It just, they do biopsies of them, they take half the thyroid out. And it has to do more with the interference with the thyroid function. And I would, since you eat a lot of that stuff, I would vote on getting rid of the cruciferous vegetables.
Okay, and the Ocean's Gold 3 times a day?
Yep. Okay, give us a call. All right, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to Detroit, Michigan. And Anthony, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Anthony, you're on the air.
Hey, Dr. Wallach, God bless you, sir. Happy New Year.
Well, thank you. I accept that, and God bless you, too. How can we help you?
Amen. I've got 2 gentlemen. The first one is, hold on one. Oh, Lord. I'm in Walmart. The first gentleman is 6 feet. He's in his 40s, probably maybe close to 200 pounds, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
He's got, I think it's rosacea. I told him rosacea, alopecia, all that thing. And he delivers bread products.
Delivers pizza.
What did you say? I didn't hear you.
Oh, he delivers pizza, or is he delivering bread products to stores?
Yeah, donuts and stuff like that.
Okay, Shar, what causes rosacea?
A gluten intolerance.
Yeah. Okay, well, what he needs to do is wear a mask, wear latex rubber gloves, and write him off as a protection for him because of his work requires him to wear these things for his health because he's sensitive to the products he's delivering. And so he needs to be obsessive. That includes dog food, cat food, bird food. Certainly his workplace, he's got to wear masks and latex rubber gloves. And his clothes, I would have him wash them in a public laundromat first and then take them home and wash them again in his laundry, right? And, of course, a public laundromat, everybody out there is eating gluten. And so I wouldn't dry them in a dryer, but I would certainly wash them someplace else and then have somebody in his household wash them in his washing system and drying system in the house, or better yet, hang them outside and so forth. Everybody in his household.
I do have a second person. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. We got to do number 2 here.
Okay. 5'9", 200 pounds, 54, diabetes with insulin and pills.
Okay, is he type 1 or type 2 diabetic?
type 2 with high blood pressure.
Okay. And weighs 200 pounds with high blood pressure. Okay, Sharp, what would you do for this guy?
I give him 2 healthy blood sugar packs, and he needs to take the Ultimate Daily and the Niacin Plus for the high blood pressure.
There you go. Perfect. And, of course, he needs to stay away from, at 5'9", he's probably about, 20, 25 pounds overweight, unless he's all muscle and Mr. America kind of guy. He needs to get grain-free because he's a diabetic. Test his fasting blood sugar every morning before he medicates himself, because his blood sugar will drop like a rock on this. But I'd get him grain-free and potato-free and just eat steamed vegetables and eggs and steamed vegetables and red meat and steamed vegetables and poultry and steamed vegetables and fish. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten. Give us a call every couple of weeks, Anthony. Let us know how these guys are doing. Well, stick with us. We'll be back with more Truth, Justice, and the Youngevity Way on Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. We're back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Youngevity and 90 for Life Crusade. And, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to England. And, Anna, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Anna. You're on the air.
Hello, my name is Lana. I'm 47 years old, and I'm about 5'4". I weigh 130 pounds. And I'm calling because I was diagnosed with Fuchs endothelial dystrophy. And I had a cornea transplant in my left eye, and they changed the lens in it because they told me the cornea transplant would cause me to get a cataract. And now my right eye, I need a cornea transplant. And I've been taking Tangy Tangerine on and off since I was diagnosed in May 2013. And I don't want to have the transplant in my right eye. Mm-hmm. Is there any regimen I could take to repair my endothelium? Because the doctor told me the cells won't repair themselves.
Okay, well, first of all, let me ask you, did you have asthma as a kid or a young adult?
No.
Okay, did you have any skin problems, any eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, or rosacea?
No.
No dry skin, nothing?
Dry skin, but not rosacea or anything
do you have,
like that.
Do you have children? Do you have children?
Yes, I do. My daughter they told her she has Fuchs, too. She's 28.
Mm-hmm. Does she have any history of asthma or skin problems?
No.
Do you have any sisters or brothers?
I have a brother, but he doesn't have Fuchs. I have it, and they told me it's genetic.
No. Okay. No, it's not genetic. No, ma'am, it's not genetic. Okay. You have an absorption of a particular vitamin here, which I'll tell you in a second. Char, what would be the most common malabsorption cause here?
Most common one is a gluten intolerance.
Exactly. And, of course, this is why she and her daughter both have. This is not genetic, okay? And if this progresses, oftentimes it'll turn into what's called keratoconus, where there's ulceration on the surface of the cornea of the eye, and the inner layer, which is what's damaged here, will bulge through. Oftentimes people get that sandpaper ichthyosis in the back of their arms and their thighs as a result of this. This is actually a vitamin A deficiency related to a gluten intolerance. And the reason why it's familial, not genetic, the reason why it's generational and family is because the mothers pass it on to both boys and girls, but girls can pass it on because they get pregnancies through the cord blood or breast milk. And so at 130 pounds, what would you give her for a chronic gluten intolerance and also chronic vitamin deficiency, including vitamin A deficiency? What would you give her?
Well, I think I'd give her a healthy brain and heart pack.
Okay, very, very good. And what else would you give her for eye problems?
I'd give her the Vision FX, but I'd also give her the Immortalium for stem cells and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very good. You get an A+++++. Very good. So here's what you do here, Lania. This is not something you just take on occasion, BTT. You need, as Shar said, an entire healthy brain and heart pack. I'd go ahead and get you an extra bottle of selenium, so you can take 3 selenium twice a day, divide everything else up in the brain and heart pack, half a dose at breakfast, half a dose at dinner. Get 2 bottles of Vision FX. So you can take a full dose of 3 at breakfast and 3 at dinner time, specifically for the eye. I would also go ahead and take the Immortalium, as Shar says. Get a hold of 2 bottles because your vision's at stake here. Take 3 of those twice a day, and that's going to encourage stem cells to kind of encourage and support maintenance repair of those endothelial cells in the lining of the cornea. And stay away from inflammatory foods. What would be, in addition to gluten, Shar, what would you tell her to stay away from that kind of inflame and irritate the cornea?
Any kind of burnt, any oil, salad oils, any kind of oils, and any burnt animal fat, all that stuff.
No fried foods, no processed meats with nitrates and nitrites. Avoid all the inflammatory things. And it's tempting because you're going to all these holiday parties and this, that, and the other. And I know they celebrate all this kind of stuff over there in the UK. So be careful. Stay away from the inflammatory stuff. Do not get tempted by it because it can cost you your vision. Do these things faithfully, obsessively. Stay away from the bad stuff faithfully and obsessively. And you can, in fact, regrow cornea. It's absolutely not true you can't. I mean, only dead doctors don't lie. Well, thank you, Shar. Super job as usual. Thank you so much, Doug and Richard. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.
Hi everyone, Andy Anderson here. Are you using those handy little bottles of gel that zap germs, bacteria, and other nasties? In today's world, that's smart, especially with all the filthy doorknobs, shopping carts, and handrails we touch every day. Here's what you may not know. Once the alcohol evaporates, goodbye effectiveness. No more protection until you use it again. PureWorks to the rescue. Our FDA-compliant foam, lotion, soap, and spray do not rely on alcohol. Their killing power lasts up to 4 hours. PureWorks disinfecting spray is EPA certified to kill swine flu, bird flu, MRSA, HIV, hepatitis B and C, and a whole host of viruses and bacteria. Mold and fungus too. It's even safe around children and pets. You'll love the soft feel of PureWorks on your hand. It actually conditions and will not dry your skin. Here's a little peace of mind knowing your hands are still germ-free hours later. Get your hands on PureWorks and get PureWorks on your hands. Stand by. Pull out your paper and pencil for your local number to order PureWorks.
We've all heard the term baby boomer referring to those born from 1946 to 1964. There are an estimated 80 million baby boomers, with the first wave hitting the Social Security and Medicare systems in recent years, with more to follow. Many healthcare experts are predicting epidemics of Alzheimer's, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and cancer among this group. However, these impending epidemics can be averted, as there is a new group emerging. This group we call the baby bloomers, because despite their chronological age, they are still physically fit, active, working, and playing. They've heard Dr. Wallach's message regarding diet, lifestyle, and nutritional supplementation. So while many around them diminish in health and vitality, they are blossoming and blooming into vibrant, healthy, on-the-go people. Wouldn't you rather be a longevity baby bloomer? If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local longevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
In recent years, several studies have discovered the healthy benefits of drinking coffee. Longevity has now taken it a step further with an entire product line of healthy coffees from Longevity's JavaFit line of top-shelf gourmet coffees. All JavaFit coffees are made from 100% premium, hand-selected Arabica coffee beans grown in the finest regions of Latin America, all carefully roasted, creating a delicious, rich, full-bodied flavor. If you're looking to lose weight, try JavaFit Diet Plus 62, a high-energy, gourmet coffee fortified with a blend of nutrients such as gambosia, citrus, and an extra shot of caffeine to pump up energy and help achieve a healthy weight. Unlike most diet drinks, you won't taste a difference. But for this to work, you can't load your coffee with cream and sugar. Contact your local Longevity distributor to get Javalution coffees. And don't forget to ask about the home-based business opportunity.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Longevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Longevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463. You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, your host of Dead Doctors Don't Lie. If you're interested in a colon cleanse, blood cleanse, liver cleanse, in the classical herbal way, you want to ask your Youngevity associate for Herbal Rainforest. Herbal Rainforest has 16 herbs, 16 cleansing herbs, classic cleansing herbs, and 77 plant minerals. That's right, and these are all organic. It doesn't get any better than that. In your busy day, and you're around all these toxins out there in your workplace, on the way home, going to work, in your food, in the air, in the water, you need Herbal Rainforest. I guarantee you, it will give you a cleanse. You can control the dose. It's a liquid. It tastes good. It doesn't get any better than this. A colon that's happy makes you happy. Nothing better than a happy colon. Herbal Rainforest. Clean it out.
For more information on this product or others you've heard about on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie radio program, call your local Youngevity associate today. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Greetings, everyone. Judy DeVilbus here. What do you think of when you hear the words tangy tangerine? Well, I think of like a sweet, tangy tasting something. Well, what I'm referring to is the Ultimate Tangy Tangerine. It's a fantastic product. It has everything you need, and a great benefit is it's very, very delicious. It's very easy to drink. I've suggested it even to youngsters. Even children like it. Even little guys. Even little girls. They come right into my office. Their parents can't get them to take those chewables, and besides that, they're not as good as Tangy Tangerine. And I give them a little taste of that, and you know something? They're pleased as punch. So, if it's good for a child and it tastes delicious, why not you? There's no excuse not to take a vitamin when it tastes as good as that does. So how about it? Tangy Tangerine should be the answer to all of your nutritional program problems.
For more information or to order, call your Youngevity distributor today. And don't forget to ask about Youngevity home-based business opportunities. You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
I am Judy DeVilbus. Here I am speaking to you again. I just wanted to tell you that recently I started drinking the Whey Shakes again, the chocolate Whey Shake. And you need to remember, the Whey Shake isn't just for losing weight. It's a fantastic place to get your great protein. And if you're trying to gain weight, you can take it along with your meals. And the best part is, if you want to just have a great protein shake, do like I do. Put it over ice, stir it up, and you can sip on it for 20 minutes to an hour. I do it every single day. I absolutely love it. You need to get back to it too. It's really good for you. And it makes Not fat, but it makes muscle after you work out. And you can also mix it up in a blender with an egg, and you have the most incredible health protein shake. Or mix it with a little water, stir it up, and you have a little pudding. And who doesn't like pudding?
For more information or to order, call your Youngevity distributor today. And don't forget to ask about Youngevity home-based business opportunities.